Okay, so here we are with the stuck case removal for the 375 Cheytac. I had an issue with a case separation at the Southeast ELR match that our team won this past weekend. In the beginning of the third of 8 rounds, I still finished 6th, but the gun was shooting amazing. I know I could have done better. So anyway, I had a case separation, brought her home, ultimately took the brake off, cleaning rods are out, started doing some wood shavings with dowels. 3/8 dowel is too big on the 375, obviously, so you have to shave it down. I've tried bore brushes, multiple brass brushes, copper brushes. I tried an easy out, which I thought was a good suggestion, and was down to welding this onto that rod laying over there tomorrow and trying it with a drill to try to get more torque. I ruined a half dozen brushes. My drills out, parts out everywhere. Ultimately took the chassis apart. Took the brake off, as I said. It's just been an epic, not fun. They either come out with a brush pull right away, I think, or they don't come out without frustration. Anyway, ultimately I went and bought an extension for a adapter here and tried this. We're talking extra delicate. This is what you don't try at home, kids, when you have a gun like this and you're messing with your bore chamber. Put this into the case and was able to turn the case about a half turn, then went back to the brush and still couldn't move it, and that was terrible. Tried the dowel shaved down, and then a regular dowel, an oak dowel I stuck in, hammered it in from the back, got it into the case neck, still couldn't budge it, couldn't turn it or anything. And then I came on to this. I have these, cut these down and use them to hold handguns. I stain them. Drove this in, took the chassis apart again, drove it in, and then began to turn it like this. And it wouldn't turn, just ground into the wood at first. And just turned it back and forth, back and forth. It started to get looser and I could go back and forth. I thought I was just going to slip the case again, which I did on both sides dowels, the 3/8 and the shaved down dowel, the brushes, every one of these things is both front and back. And finally it started getting a little looser, and I pulled, and lo and behold, there it is. Separated in all of its glory, attached to an oak. I think this might be a 1/2 inch dowel, I don't know. Somebody else can do the math. You can see well, not really in this lighting, but the neck is shaved down to a thin margin from my other more invasive things. But ultimately it worked from the rear, pulling it. Actually, I hammered. This was in here like this, and I used my brass hammer on the actual vice grips here like this, because I could push it from the other side. I did this earlier a number of times, like halfway through. I've been doing this for about 4 hours, and had a lot of stuff break and fail, trying to protect the gun, the bore. And I could push them through, all 3 dowels actually, but they were just popping out. And so then I tapped, which I should have done in the beginning. Ultimately, my belief is you need to get, assuming there's no damage, you need to pull from the case similar to how the ejector does. Not from the neck, which is what I was really initially trying to do, similar to the brush. The oversized brush, we used a 50 brush, I think would have worked, but the brush just gets destroyed almost in a matter of 1 or 2 pulls. So if this happened again, I'm going to do it all from the back of the gun. Try to stay away from the crown. I don't know if there's any damage. I will keep you posted if it's been damaged. But there it is. The hardest fix I've ever had on a gun. And I've had from building ARs that didn't gas right and work to all sorts of failures. This one just about did me in. But I got it out. I'll get her back together. Get some ammo in it. It's 20 degrees here, so I feel like I can fire about anything, which I still believe the separation was due to me having too much temperature and pressure when I went down to Georgia, and we have 95% humidity, a heavier or lower elevation, and 70 degrees versus the 20 I was shooting them in. I still had a 2-point something SD and a 4ES down there and here. The gun shot amazing. I'm disappointed that I didn't get to see what all it could do. So I got the Patriot mounted on it. I'm going to keep the Patriot on it. We'll try to get her some shots off. Upcoming is a box open for a new spot and scope, an Optolith, and some caps for the Patriot I've been waiting on a while. So I'll do a box open and then we'll do a review on that. My team did win, me as the spotter with Chris Smith from the JJ Rock team over the weekend in ELR Southeast match. But there it is, a case case separated, and a removal. I didn't really show it all. I started filming and it was just so many things broke. 4 hours later, I'm back in business to at least test fire the gun. Forward forever, sometimes slowly. Thank you, enjoy.